out at this bar called Infinity at the Sheraton Waikiki. And one night I had a couple guys with me from New York, and we were planning all kind of stupid stuff. What can I tell you? And we created little companies. We were selling a thing called Robophone. We had a little portable phone. This was before cell phones. So you had like this little box that had a little antenna on it. Mm-hmm. You put it out by your pool, and the phone had an antenna on it. And we were selling those to wealthy people. It was like $1,600, $1,800 a phone. So we created that company. I created my own advertising company, and siphoned off some of the business from the Leonard Company. And then while I was working for Bell and Howell, they flew me to Dallas. Now I'm a fugitive at this point in time. So I'm already now, this is the beginning of my 10-year run as an unknown, changing my name every time I went. And what I'd do is I'd get a diabetic card, or what's the other guys that have the spastic fits? You go to a drugstore and you get the little ID cards. You use those to get a driver's license, and you just keep changing your name.
Epilepsy?
Epilepsy, yeah. I used to have epilepsy cards. So I'd get those for myself and all my partners. And then we go down and get driver's licenses. That's how we started getting fake ID. And, I just keep moving along and doing really crazy stuff. And then I obviously met some interesting people that were extremely involved in drugs, cocaine to be specific. Carlos Later was one of them. I met his girlfriend at the Infinity, and we hit it off. And when I left Hawaii, she took off with me. So I ran with her for about 4.5 years until, and all the stuff, we pretended like she was my wife, but I would change her name and change my name. And plus we had access to pretty much as much drugs as we wanted to move. It was pretty unlimited, seriously. 2 Pullman cases back in those days was a big haul, and that was like nothing. I lived in one place in North Glen. That's on one of my websites, actually. Pictures of my basement filled with money, this high. Because they had no place to put it, and most of them hung out between Hawaii and Aspen, and then they had an island in the Caribbean. And so most of the money they would get it up in Aspen and bury it behind Ajax, which is right above Little Nels. And so when the ground was frozen and snowing in the wintertime, they had no place to put it. So they asked me if they put it in my basement, in my rented house.